I had totally forgotten how long it takes to put one of these together. And what do I mean by one of these? Well, a 2025 analysis of where I think Tesla will be going. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to, take it at a high level, no charts, no graphs, no kind of, estimates by quarter, etc. I will do that eventually. That might even be next weekend. But today I'm going to give you part one of two parts of a kind of a comprehensive analysis. And what I need you to do is, correct me. I almost always make mistakes on this first round. So help me out in the comments where I get it wrong. Okay, let's start with vehicles, of course. Overall, Elon is very, very good at estimating car deliveries. I mean, how many times has he gotten it right? In 2016, he said 500,000 cars. In 2020, he hit it on the nose. In 2019, he said that the cars they would be increasing 50% per year on average over the next many years, which he turned out to be exactly right. And then last year, at the beginning of the year, he said this will be a trough year. And now he's saying 20 to 30% increase in 2025. So I'm going to take him at his word. I'm going to split the difference. I'm going to go in at 25%, even though I think the number will be way higher than this, because once FSD starts, is 100%, and you can sleep in the car, I think the uptake on Tesla vehicles will dramatically increase. Now, maybe Elon thinks that won't start happening. I mean, I got to believe he's thinking that way. Maybe he doesn't think that increase in total take rate on cars will increase dramatically until that word gets out more. And so maybe he's looking at 2026 for really dramatic increases. Okay, anyway, that implies 450,000 additional cars, are about 2.26 million vehicles for the year. I think, as always, quarter one will be a little bit soft. Then I think we'll return to at least 500,000 in quarter two, maybe a bit more. New vehicles and Juniper will impact by quarter three. Yes, we'll have some Junipers and some 2.5 vehicles in quarter one or two, but it won't be very significant numbers until quarter three. So I think you'll get to about 600,000 in quarter three and 650,000 in quarter four. You'll need to do that if you want to get to Elon's number, or to this 25% increase number. Now, factory capacity is in the range of 3.3 million. So I still suspect we'll beat this, 2.26 number by a lot. We'll see. Let's see. Time will tell. All right, let's start with Model 3. The product, of course, is stunning in every way and has had amazing reviews across the board. I mean, the Tesla Q even have come out with good reports on the Model 3. Pricing right now, amazing value, as long as the $7,500 federal thing stays in place. Of course, you have a lot of sales of Model 3 in China, around the world, Europe, China, everywhere. And some of those don't get these kind of deals from governments in order to make them even more compelling. However, they are compelling. I am shocked they haven't sold way more than they have. Sometimes I get these things wrong. You don't have to comment on that. When FSD is added later this year, where it's complete, we're talking about sleep in the back seat. When that's added as a feature for daily driving and also a potential business asset, I think total sales will go crazy. So quarter one might see a slight increase over quarter four, even though seasonally this would not be normally the case. But I think there's it's got the big Mo, but Model Y may be in short supply in quarter one, because that's where we're going to be switching over to Juniper, and that might mean that we don't have quite as many. We also have, of course, the regular China shutdowns for Chinese New Year. So quarter one in general, as mentioned, will be a little bit shy. Quarter two to quarter four, I think we'll see excellent sales increases. Because why? Well, because the Juniper will be out there. And I'm sorry, we're still talking about Model 3. So I think the Model Y may be in short supply. That might help Model 3 sales. Later in the year, 4680 cells might go into Model 3. okay, which could increase the margins even more on Model 3. At some point, the 4680s are going to be used at all the Model Ys, and then eventually they'll have more than enough for that and for Cybertruck, and so they'll start putting in Model 3s as well, I'm guessing, or something else. We'll see. Okay, what about Model Y? The Juniper is coming. I expect phased rollout from the factories, but they will all be shifted over by February. Sure, I would like it. People have said in the comments, hey, they should just bring them all out at the same time from all factories at the same time in order to get rid of Osborning. I just don't think they're going to go to the trouble to do that, but we'll see. So I think we get the light January on Model Y, ramping up Juniper. 4680 packs will start dropping the cost of goods because they'll first put 4680s into Model Y, and margins increasing steadily as the take rate for FSD increases. So you get the margins from the batteries, the battery packs, then you get the FSD benefit. All right, what about the Model 2.5? I think the first units will be coming out in January or February. Low sales in the early days, but starting to sell all out, starting in third quarter. I think they'll be selling out 100%, of course. Cybertruck, okay, we got increased production results. The only way you're going to get more sales out of Cybertruck is to make more, okay? There's people waiting in line. We're still waiting in line. You might still be waiting in line. And so we're just going to see, as the ramp continues up, better and better sales all year long. The cost of goods will be dropping rapidly, but the selling price will also be dropping somewhat. So I think the margins overall will increase steadily, getting up to hopefully at some point in the range of 25%. So then we got the Semi. I think we know there'll be small production from the pilot line all this year, but then I think we'll start to see the increase maybe as early as Q3 as the new line begins a ramp. Yes, I know Elon said 2026. I think they'll begin the ramp in late 2025, so we'll get some additional units. Not going to be needle mover. Cybercab, maybe we'll see some small numbers in late 2025 before the ramp in 2026, but it's not going to be significant. Okay, now let's talk about energy. The Megapack, we should see 10 gigawatts per hour. 10 gigawatt hours per quarter from Lathrop. Some think it'll be more than that, but the lumpiness should be at least less lumpy. I'm not sure we'll get more than that out of Lathrop. Shanghai is expected to start with limited test production in this Q4, and ramp to 50% of Lathrop by the end of Q1. Elon guided to 100 gigawatts per year soon. I will assume a run rate this next year of 80 gigawatt hours by the end of 2025, with a run rate of 100 gigawatt hours in 2026, maybe more. I also expect announcements soon for more factories. Powerwall's Tesla posted on X a record U.S. installation week of 4,500 just before earnings. They're being installed around the world in addition to that 4,500 per week. I don't have any idea how many that would be. No information that I can find. Now, depending on the configuration, Powerwall is either $8,400 up to and including $13,000. For ease of computation, I'm going to use $10,000 each. That's $45 million per month, or about $234 million per year. Now, that's not a serious needle mover in a $100 billion company, but it's not nothing. Many of these are also sold to installers, and they're likely getting a discount. So I think the $234 million number might be a good number, since I went a little bit low ball on the retail, and there are units being installed around the world. And of course, I'm expecting that these will be increasing. They're not giving us any information about demand, about TAM, about expectations about future demand. So it's really hard to know overall what to expect in this category. Energy arbitrage. Someday, I'm hoping, and it would be so much fun to start giving us the stat quarterly on how much energy arbitrage money is coming in. What is the total income from all the arbitrage? You got arbitrage that might be happening with mega packs that are installed at the charging stations. You've got tens of thousands of megapacks now installed. In some cases, Tesla might be earning money from arbitrage. Then you've got the arbitrage that's coming in from the, I'm going to forget the name of it. These, the power walls that are installed in people's homes, and they are part of a system in their area where Tesla is doing arbitrage, especially during emergencies. And then there's more than that. Now, there's also a lot of energy revenue coming in from retail energy sales, wholesale energy sales, where Tesla is actually the retailer or the wholesaler. Love to have kind of an overall number. What are they making from all of that as a category? Doesn't have to break it down, but giving it just as a category, what are they making on all of that? All right, let's talk about Robotaxi. All right, for all purposes in this analysis, the annual miles driven will be given as 100,000 miles per year. 60%, according to Grok, or 60,000 of these miles would be revenue producing. It's impossible to figure out with any degree of certainty what the average revenue per mile will turn out to be. But I think for the first year or two in the United States and Europe and Australia, et cetera, the Western countries, I think $1.50 is probably a good bet. I don't know. Let me know if you think I'm wrong. All right. And Tesla has not yet indicated how the revenue sharing will work between Tesla and the private fleets. So we don't know what that is yet. But for this analysis, I'm going to leave out any FSD revenue and put that into the car profits, the general car profits, and figure Tesla will take 10% of gross revenues, or about 15 cents per mile. Does that work out? All right. Of course, Tesla fleet cars will be much less per mile because their depreciation will be based on a vehicle probably with a base cost of $15,000. Some of those will be from coming in from leased cars. Some of those will be just the new RoboCab or Cybercabs. But I'm going to say a roughly $15,000 rather than maybe the average person out there with a Model 3 or Y who paid $45,000. And so therefore the depreciation over the first 5 years, 500,000 miles, would be 9 cents for the private fleet people versus only 3 cents for Tesla. In addition to that, of course, Tesla's not paying them. Well, they could pay themselves the 15 cents, but we'll take that 15 cents out as well. So you've got about a 21-cent difference. All right, so the Tesla fleet, let's start with that. In 2025, Tesla is saying that Robotaxi service will begin. Now, once activated, I would be shocked if Tesla puts out fewer than 10,000 vehicles into service roughly immediately. Again, some of those will be coming from returns off lease. They might build up some of those, get them ready, have them ready to go, staged, etc. And then they'll have brand new cars too. So if they've got some excess capacity, they could put excess capacity into the Tesla fleet. So eventually they'll start adding the Cybercabs toward the end of the year and into the next year, rather than the sexy vehicles, because that's going to be, the more what their full intentions. They've made it clear, but there's going to still be probably situations where they'll put sexy vehicles if there's a strategic reason or opportunity. Now, Elon has stated that the cost per mile for all of these vehicles, all of the Robotaxi vehicles, will be around 40 cents. He says 30 to 40 cents. So we'll assume that means private cars, and I'll use the 40-cent figure for now. And then we'll use 25 cents for Tesla, okay? 40 cents for private cars, 25 cents for Tesla. Now, if there's 10,000 vehicles for Tesla, averaging $90,000 in revenue per year, that's $1.50 times 60,000 miles, and then it has a cost of $25,000 or 25 cents per 100,000 miles, because you got to count the part that's deadheading. This gives Tesla a $65,000 profit per year per car. Okay. Yeah, okay. This gives Tesla a $65,000 profit per year per car. All right. Now you see the shocking reason why some people wonder why Tesla would ever sell another car to a private party. So then if we take that 10,000 cars and we do that times $65,000 each, you get $6.5 billion in profit per year. I will take half of that for 2025, probably even a little less than half. So maybe we'll call it $3 billion for 2025. Private fleets. Okay, the private fleets. We have no idea how many miles per vehicle or how many vehicles will be placed in service, but here's the math per vehicle. If they're driven 100,000 miles and 60,000 of those would be getting a full, the cost of those will be the full, what I do just here, I just did something wrong. 60,000 of those would be at the full 40 cents per mile, because the ones that are deadheading would not have the 15-cent revenue share with Tesla. So we've got 60,000 miles at 40 cents plus 40,000 miles at 25 cents. And that gives us a total cost of these miles of $34,000. So the private owner gets 90,000 in revenue and spends 34,000 to get it, leaving them with $56,000 in their pocket in profit per vehicle. So make sure my math is good on that one, because I just picked up on a little error. I'm going to correct it as we go rather than forget to correct it later. Okay, there we go. So 56,000 per vehicle. Tesla would receive 15 cents per mile, or $9,000 per vehicle, 60,000 miles times 15 cents, assuming 5% of the 1.5 million vehicles registered. I'm sorry, let me start that again. If we assume that 5% of the 1.5 million Tesla vehicles registered just in California and Texas, according to Grok, signed up, you'd have 75,000 vehicles paying Tesla $9,000 each, or $675 million per year. So if the program rolls out in Q3, maybe Tesla would see 300 million from that this year. And how much more next year? How many times that in 2026? All right, that's half. I still have to cover Optimus. I have to cover passive income. I have to cover other charging stations, insurance, services, solar, and AI. So I got a lot of work here to do, and then I will put it at some point into some kind of a spreadsheet, lay it out, and give you some final numbers. But let me know what you think in the comments below about these numbers I gave you just now, about my analysis. Where am I wrong? Where am I right? What would you do differently? What have I forgotten to even talk about? I'm really going to be looking forward to your comments on this one so that I can get this really complete. And then maybe by next weekend, we'll have something really, really good to show. Okay. And that's all I've got for you right now. I will have a program later this afternoon. I'm going to work on it right now. So, and then tomorrow morning, I should have part B of this story. So tomorrow morning, that's my goal. And then later this afternoon will be a regular Saturday afternoon show where we talk about what took place with the Tesla story, all the different stuff, and with the economy, news, all kinds of news over the last 24 hours. That'll be sometime probably around 5:30, something like that. Okay, that's all I got for you right now. As always, it has been great talking to you.